The News at 9 on North Mississippi CW4 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Martin. Dozens gathered tonight in Tupelo for a night to honor the men and women in blue. A December Remembrance Vigil was held at Fair Park to pay respects to those who've died in the line of duty. Residents and the Tupelo Police Department all there for the special ceremony. Well, it's been nearly 4 years to the day since Officer Gail Stauffer was shot and killed during a Tupelo bank robbery. His mom was one of the speakers and says it's important to remember the ones who put their lives on the line.
One of the best things that you can do for a family member, especially a parent and a mama, is to remember their child if you've lost them. But to be able to have people think and be kind enough to remember Gail every year is, it keeps us going.
Officer Stauffer is the only Tupelo officer who's lost his life in the line of duty. New at 9, grandparents of a Yazoo City school student are outraged tonight after they say the school didn't let them know in a timely manner about a suicide note their 10-year-old grandson left. Margie Endage reports.
In 3 days from him, we hadn't heard about our grandson writing a suicide letter.
Gatson says he's spoken before with McCoy's principal, Dr. Chano, when his grandson was kicked in the groin at school. At this meeting, he asked why he wasn't told about the letter until Wednesday.
He said, we was testing Tuesday. Okay. So I said, testing? I said, do you take testing over a life? Could have been a conversation where we're talking about burying my grandson.
I spoke with a child psychiatrist today who says the boy's parents should have been notified immediately about the suicide letter.
A lot of child who was bullied have low self-esteem because of that, which cause a lot of stress in their brain and may cause depression.
Superintendent Darren Edwards told me today they are investigating, and if what Gatson says is true, they will take administrative action.
I'm really just trying to expose the fact that we have a problem with bullying in Yazoo City School District.
The school's police chief explained over the phone that criminal charges could be filed against the bullies if they don't stop.
The boy's grandparents said they plan to take him to see a counselor. Back here at home, some scary moments last night after a robbery at MUW. Now police needing your help to help nab that suspect. A university spokeswoman says an employee of the university was struck and robbed near Fant Hall around 8:40 last night. The suspect then took off on foot towards 15th and Washington. A short time later, police stopped this man at the corner of 19th Street South and Bell Avenue. Police say he took off during questioning, dropping some of the victim's items. He's described as a black male, about 6 feet tall, and was wearing a Mustangs football sweatshirt. If you have any information on this person, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. A hot pursuit ends in a crash in North Columbus. Lowndes County narcotics officers were attempting to make a traffic stop on Waterworks Road when the driver refused to pull over. Chief Deputy Mark Miley says the suspect crashed into a parked car and fence on Burns Circle. No one was injured. One person was arrested, but deputies are not releasing their name. Starkville police find more than they bargained for after responding to a reckless driver. 30-year-old Melanie King of Madison was arrested Monday after police found methamphetamine. Police were called out to Highway 25 for a reckless driver and pulled King over. After a short roadside investigation, King was charged with trafficking a controlled substance. Her bond is set at $50,000. A trio is behind bars after a meth bust in Monroe County. Karen Bland, Jeffrey Hathcock, and Jason Hurley are all facing possession charges. Hurley also has a pending charge of possession within 1,500 feet of a church. Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says 5 vehicles, 10 guns, 100 grams of meth, and a large amount of money were found at a home on Hatley Detroit Road where they were seized last night. Sheriff Cantrell says his department is dedicated to making the county drug-free.
Here in our county, anytime you can take these drugs and all this drug paraphernalia and guns off the street, it takes it out of the hands of young people that might get a hold of this to start doing drugs.
Conservation officers from Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks also assisted in that bust. Dry conditions are posing a fiery problem for area firefighters. A recent fire in Webster County now has fire crews cautioning others if they plan on outdoor burning. Parker King reports.
Yesterday afternoon we got a call of a grass fire.
But on the way to the scene in Webster County, the fire had spread rapidly.
Before we could get there to it, we got another call that was a couple of structures involved.
Most of our area is under a moderate drought, making wooded areas a perfect tinderbox, waiting to catch a light.
It's dangerous for everybody, for the firemen that have to respond, and also for anyone involved in trying to contain it.
Just a simple spark from anything could start a fire with the wind blowing like it is and dry as it is.
Recent cuts in the state forestry department have left fire departments worried about containing large fires.
It was a bad situation, and it was something that we were all concerned about as fire departments.
But this time in Webster County, state foresters were in the right place at the right time.
They happened to be in the county yesterday and they had a pretty quick response yesterday.
Containing the fire in only an hour and a half.
They were super fast, had 2 dozers on the ground, and that really made a huge difference in us being able to contain it as well as we did because of their quick response.
But if they off somewhere in another county and we need them, it's going to take them quite a while to get here.
Not all situations will have luck on their side. Webster County EMA Director Barry Rushing says the best fire prevention is to not start one at all.
It is very dry now. It is recommended that you don't have fires outside now at all until we have some rain.
There is some rain in the weekend forecast, but it may not be enough to lift us out of the drought. Fire officials say for now, keep the fires in the fireplace. Let's toss things over to meteorologist Amanda Reynolds. And Amanda, when will we see a little bit of relief?
Well, we will see some relief come Sunday and then maybe into the early part of next week. But at least for now, this is what the current drought situation looks like. Much of northeast Mississippi considered to be in that moderate drought, and those that aren't are still considered to be abnormally dry. Right now, though, we're still seeing temperatures in the upper 30s with winds out of the north. But that'll be changing as we go into the next few days. More on that in just a few minutes.
Some Tupelo police officers are owed some back pay, $857,000 worth to be exact. Well, payroll for some officers, the room is calculated for at least 16 months according to a release. Well, those officers weren't paid overtime due under federal labor laws for public safety workers. Well, the city says part of that reason was due to the department not properly documenting officer work hours or time records. It's still unclear how many officers will receive a check. Those that do will be notified. Law enforcement across the state are increasing patrols this holiday season. Today, more than 15 agencies got together in New Albany to kick off their Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Well, it launches tomorrow. Troop F Master Sergeant Tony Dunn says they want the roads to be safe this holiday season.
Provide safety for the people out there. You know, you got people driving from here to there, going to meet family, going out of state, coming into